Now, the life of a wife, mother, and educator is being remembered in Madison after she was tragically killed almost 2 weeks ago. Also, hundreds of wedding vendors were out this weekend, making planning for your perfect day all the less stressful. And the latest into more classified documents found at President Biden's Delaware home as Republicans launch their own investigation into the handling of those documents. That's all coming up right now at 5:30. This afternoon, family, friends, and other loved ones of Beth Steffen gathered in Madison to honor her life. She was out walking her dog nearly 2 weeks ago when she was hit by a car and killed. Not only was Steffen a mother and wife, she was also an educator. Steffen was serving as the interim principal with the Verona Area School District, and prior to her time there, she was the principal at Madison's Edgewood High School. Our Braden Ross was at the memorial today, where she learned more about Steffen's impact on the community. Braden?
McKenna, any of the hundreds of people at her memorial service today can tell you just how much Beth Steffen impacted them. Beth started her career as an English teacher at Beloit Memorial High School, a job and community where her family says she fell in love with teaching. She then moved to Madison, where she taught at Lafayette High School, Edgewood High School, and served as an interim principal at Badger Ridge Middle School in Verona. Throughout her career as an educator, people who knew her say Beth was passionate about helping every student reach their fullest potential.
Beth saw these little people with all their own, everything's there, and then how do you just kind of guide it to help them be what they can be? And she wanted to hear that. She wanted to listen to them and hear that, and that meant a lot to her.
Beth also had a passion for social justice and politics. She worked on several campaigns and coached other educators on restorative justice. At 10, we'll have more on remembering Beth's legacy and all the lives that she touched.
All right, Braden, thank you. A live look at the Capitol on this Sunday night. It's dry right now, but that will change soon, as rain will be on the way during the start of your work week. Meteorologist Julian Seabright has those details. Julian, when will those rain clouds roll in tonight?
Well, thankfully, McKenna, we don't have to worry about it until late tonight when we're all sleeping. But as we get into our Martin Luther King Monday holiday, well, we are going to start our mornings rather soggy, so make sure you have your rain gear on deck. Now, outside of that, though, as we take a look outside, it's just breezy and it's just cloudy, but it's feeling pretty good into the upper 30s as of right now. But those southeasterly winds have kept things rather mild. Our high today was 42 degrees in Madison, and we're going to see those temperatures slide back and forth into the middle and upper 30s throughout the rest of the night. But take a look at this 24-hour temperature change. Yesterday didn't feel too bad either, but we had an 11-degree increase in Madison and for Janesville, about 9-degree increase over towards Platteville over the last 24 hours. Just kind of gives a little bit of a reference of just how much nicer it feels for today for our second week of January, getting ready for the third week. 39 degrees in Madison with 39 in Janesville and about 38 degrees in Platteville. As we take a closer look into Dane County, well, as of right now, we're all bouncing around between the middle 30s and the lower 40s as we kick off the rest of tonight. Now, wind speeds are going to be the biggest story outside of the cloud cover for tonight, as we're dealing with 14 miles per hour with sustained winds in Madison, 16 in Janesville, and about 12 for Platteville. And taking a look at tonight's temperatures will be around 36 degrees, but we are looking for that rain to develop after midnight. But many of us will be into the middle and upper 30s, but cloud cover will stick around, and then the rain, that's what we're going to be waiting for. A song of rain and snow is what's going to be the headline for this week, because it's not just rain that we're going to be dealing with, but potentially some snow later into the week as well. We'll break it down and plan out your holiday and the work week coming up in a few moments. Until then, back to you, McKenna.
All right, thanks, Julian. One person is dead following a crash in Sun Prairie last night. Just before 9, Sun Prairie Police, EMS, and fire departments responded to a report of a multiple vehicle crash on U.S. Highway 151 just north of the Rayner Road Bridge. 3 vehicles were involved in the crash, with occupants from each vehicle transported to area hospitals for treatment. One person later died at a hospital. The cause of the crash is still under investigation, and no arrests have been made, so anyone who may have seen that crash is asked to contact Sun Prairie Police. A few 1,000 people were without power this morning in the areas of Oregon and Brooklyn. Alliant Energy says a blown fuse at its substation is to blame, but a fix has already been made. 4 outages in total are said to have affected nearly 2,400 customers, but the power should have been restored shortly after noon. We've sent out a push alert through the Channel 3000 app this morning when we confirmed that outage with Alliant. You can download the app for free. Just be sure to turn on push notifications so you stay up to date with the latest stories happening in your community. Madison's largest wedding show of the year just came to a close after 2 busy days at the Align Energy Center. Stress is natural when it comes to wedding planning, but this event brought together more than 100 local wedding vendors to help make planning for that special day just a little bit easier. Ideas and inspirations were flowing, with designers providing stunning wedding-scapes and wedding dresses also on display during a runway fashion show. And of course, an important part of the wedding is the catering. Your ticket to the show also allowed you to taste dessert bites and sip on a cocktail while getting some new ideas.
Behind me here we have Inspiration Alley, which has a fashion gallery, color palette displays, dessert displays, just things to inspire the couples for finding new ideas for their wedding.
Tickets to the event cost $10 and were good for both days. Around the Midwest, a Chicago woman was surprised to learn the ashes of her late sister somehow ended up in the back of a U-Haul truck. Laura Rodriguez, the youngest sister of a family with 11 siblings, died in December of 2021. The family gave Laura's ashes to the boyfriend who had taken care of her while she battled cancer. But the deceased family's members had no idea the ashes had gone missing. Laura's sister Maria says the ashes somehow ended up in the back of a U-Haul. That led to a search by U-Haul staff to find the family.
They asked me first if I was a relative of Laura, and I said, yes, I am. And then they just told me this just strange thing that didn't make no sense, that my sister's ashes were on some U-Haul truck. And I'm like, oh, my God.
One U-Haul employee says Rodriguez's boyfriend was there earlier Friday to claim the ashes, but was in so much distress he suffered a cardiac episode and was taken by first responders to the hospital. Maria says she hopes the man who she trusted with her sister's ashes is okay and reaches out to her. In national news now, questions surrounding the Biden administration about the classified documents discovered late last year and last week continue to grow. Approximately 20 classified records have been found, some in a former office he used before the presidency and others at his Delaware home. CBS News' Christian Benavides has what lawmakers on both sides are saying.
Heading home to Delaware Sunday, President Biden didn't answer questions about the discovery of classified documents at his private residence there and a former Washington, D.C. office. James Comer, the newly appointed Republican chairman of the House Oversight Committee, sent a letter Sunday to the White House Chief of Staff saying, in part, given the serious national security implications, the White House must provide the Wilmington residence's visitor log.
What we see with President Biden is there are multiple locations. We would never have known about the possession of the classified documents were it not for investigative reporting by CBS that somehow got a leak to determine that this had happened prior to the election. So the administration hasn't been transparent.
Following the initial discovery of documents at the D.C.-based Penn Biden Center, additional documents were found at the president's private home, including the garage and another area.
We don't have any indication that President Biden knew about them. He certainly has demonstrated no intent to deceive or obstruct the government by keeping them, and that's in direct contrast to President Trump, who refused to cooperate.
If these documents were available for a long period of time in such an open environment as a garage, for heaven's sakes, now I understand the garage was locked, as the president made a point, but still they were available.
Utah Republican Congressman Chris Stewart says the House Intelligence Committee will receive more information from the Director of National Intelligence about the documents within the next few weeks. Christian Benavides, CBS News.
Some sad news tonight out of Georgia. Just hours after celebrating the team's national championship win, University of Georgia lineman Devin Willock was killed in a car crash. The team, along with fans, filled the streets of Athens Saturday for a victory parade and celebration. A staffer for the team, Chandler LaCroix, was also killed in the crash, and 2 others were hurt. They are unidentified members of the football program and are in stable condition at the hospital. Willock was an offensive lineman who played in every game this year. Georgia Athletics issued a statement saying Devin and Chandler were 2 special people who meant so much to the University of Georgia, our football program, and our athletic department. We ask that everyone keep their families in your prayers during this difficult time. The National Transportation Safety Board is investigating a close call that happened on a runway at JFK Airport in New York. A Delta flight had to abandon its takeoff Friday because an American Airlines flight was taxiing on the same runway. Reports indicate the Delta plane came within 1,000 feet of the American Airlines jet. New audio recordings show the quick actions of an air traffic controller helped avoid a potential crash. Luckily, no one was hurt in the incident. Delta says its flight was bound for Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic and had 151 passengers and crew on board, but did have to return to the gate where it couldn't depart until Saturday morning. More local news is just ahead at 5:30 as the world's largest puzzle is being completed in Reedsburg. We'll take you there next to explain how this whole plan got started. Coming up next on News 3 Now.
Wisconsin. It's easy to take for granted how we warm up. But what if you couldn't warm up so easily? For many, it's a reality they can't ignore. Working families, elderly, disabled, and veterans struggling to keep their heat and power on in the dangerous cold of winter. If you or someone you know needs a hand up, our energy, water, and emergency rental assistance providers are working together to keep you safe in your home. No one deserves to suffer when we can help each other.
Migraine hits hard, so you hit back with Ubrelvy. You put it all on the line. One dose of Ubrelvy quickly stops migraine in its tracks within 2 hours.
Do not take with strong CYP3A4 inhibitors. Most common side effects were nausea and tiredness.
Ask about Ubrelvy, the anytime, anywhere migraine medicine.
Attention mothers, did you take Tylenol or other acetaminophen pain-relieving products while pregnant? Recent evidence suggests children whose mothers took Tylenol while pregnant may be more likely to develop autism. Other acetaminophen products at risk include Excedrin, NyQuil, Dayquil, and other store-brand pain relievers. Children with autism have a hard time interacting with others. Those on the spectrum usually begin exhibiting social symptoms by the time they're 8 to 10 months old. Call now for a free confidential consultation.
Please call 800-379-7867.
Where will your new Chevy take you this year? Anywhere. Find new experiences. Find new roads. Well-qualified buyers get 2.99% financing on all 2022 Silverado 1500 pickups or get $1,500 cash allowance on this Silverado with a 2.7-liter engine. Plus, current Chevy owners get an additional $3,250 total cash allowance.
At Denny's, we have the best value all day long, like the Everyday Value Slam for only $5.99. Now you can stack your wins and enjoy the sunny side of craveable value. $5.99 every day, part of the all-day Diner Deals value menu, only at Denny's.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5:30.
Well, it's certainly been peaceful this weekend in Reedsburg as people from all over the state came together to complete the world's largest puzzle. Our Nicole Herzog has the story. Nicole?
Yeah, a funeral home is probably not where you'd expect to find the world's largest puzzle, but puzzle lovers fit right in at Grass Funeral Service in Reedsburg this weekend. People of all ages came together to start the 60,000-piece puzzle on Friday evening. They've broken it up into 22 puzzles for the weekend. The plan was to finish today, but it'll now be completed in Partyville in a few weeks. The puzzle is called What a Wonderful World. It features a map of the globe with dozens of iconic locations from the Taj Mahal to Mount Rushmore.
I've learned that there's lots of details which have made it more challenging, but people are having a wonderful time.
Feet tall and 25 feet wide. They haven't decided where to display the puzzle yet, but the funeral home owner says the building size made it the perfect place to host the event.
All right, Nicole, thank you. Well, if you've ever wanted to pick up juggling, this weekend was also the perfect opportunity. The last 3 days were dedicated to jugglers with MadFest, the 47th annual festival dedicated to tossing things. The festival is put on by Madison area jugglers, a local club made up of people who enjoy, you guessed it, juggling. MadFest brought out juggling vendors, workshops, and even a large extravaganza performance last night at the Barrymore Theater. This afternoon, the festival came to a close at O'Keefe Middle School with students showing interest in learning how to juggle.
Focus of the whole weekend is what we see right now, the open juggling. So you can see it's just people who are hanging out, they're sharing tricks, they're showing off, they're participating in big group juggling patterns that they couldn't do at home because they don't have enough jugglers.
If you're interested in juggling, the group meets every Thursday and Sunday. For more information, just visit madjugglers.com. Stay with us. Julian's back with a full check of our forecast coming up after this.
Confused by your internet bill? Monday will have some expert tips to make sure that you're getting the best deal. Plus, question of the day is back with your chance to win Restaurant Week bucks.
And we'll be tracking the rain as it moves in for Monday. Join us tomorrow morning between 4:30 and 7.
Are you waking up in the morning with a sore jaw, headaches, maybe even ringing in your ears, all because you're grinding and clenching your teeth at night? That's exactly what was going on with me. That's when I found this, the Brux Night Guard. Now, the Brux Night Guard redirects the bite force away from the back teeth, reducing jaw pain while still protecting the teeth. This unique design is what makes Brux Night Guard different from all other traditional grind guards. Go to bruxnightguard.com and order yours today.
We asked people to give their honest feedback on how wrinkles around their eye area and under-eye puffiness looked after trying Tint and Tighten for the first time.
So with foundation, normally it just kind of cover up and conceal things, but with Tint and Tighten, it actually changes the way the skin looks. The lines are actually gone, so you don't get any of that buildup within them and the creases that you normally would see when you wear foundation.
Tint and Tighten shrinks under-eye puffiness, smooths out wrinkles and fine lines around the eye area, and provides tinted coverage to hide dark circles and skin imperfections, making you look fresh and younger. And since Tint and Tighten works in 10 minutes and lasts up to 8 hours, you can look your best without getting injections or fillers. Get beautiful, lightweight, tinted coverage, plus that smoother, younger, wrinkle-free look from years past in 10 minutes. A look that will make you feel beautiful and confident. Try it this new year for only $19.95, plus get free shipping and handling. Visit tintandtighten.com or call the number on your screen.
7-day-old tuna casserole.
How'd you know that?
Even my nose is strong. You need Hefty Ultra Strong. It has Arm & Hammer, continuous odor control. Hefty, Hefty, Hefty. Oh, and Toby needs a bath. Stay one step ahead of Stinky.
Arby's, 2 for $7 every day. That big crispy boy can barely fit on the bun. 2 of those things for just $7. Arby's, we have the meat.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5:30.
A new study in the journal BMJ may help put long COVID sufferers at ease. Researchers have found most of the persistent symptoms that develop after a mild bout of the virus, including fatigue or shortness of breath, generally resolve within a year and don't lead to chronic long-term illness, especially for vaccinated patients. Let's get a look at your certified most accurate forecast with meteorologist Julian Seawright.
Well, now it's just going to be a watch for when we're going to start to see some rain rolling its way in. And where it's coming from is the system, which is set up just into the Great Plains right now. It's going to continue to track just into a northeasterly pace, setting up just near to the northern side of Illinois. Now, with it, this is going to be a robust system. So we're looking at plenty of rainfall and abundance of moisture that's going to be raining throughout much of the overnight hours, throughout all of Monday, and even leaking into our Tuesday. But outside of that, let's go ahead and plan the rest of tonight. Live look outside, cloud cover. It's a bit breezy, 39 degrees now, and over the next few hours, we're still going to be into the upper 30s. Plenty of cloud cover is going to stick around as well as we have the stage set for us to see rain going into tomorrow. So, and that's what we're going to be seeing late into the overnight hours. So planning out tonight, just note that when you're going to sleep, you may potentially, for some areas, hear even a rumble of thunder, but we're really going to be into the upper 30s, so it's going to be mild, but temperatures themselves are not going to be the big story. It's going to be the rain that we're going to be dealing with and the breezy conditions heading into tomorrow as well. The mid-40s is what we're going to be looking for, near the mid-40s for us in Madison and around Platteville and for Janesville as well. But rain is going to be an all-day affair for us. Now, as we continue throughout the rest of tonight, you can see plenty of rain is going to be very widespread throughout the course of our morning hours, transitioning even into our overnights going into our Tuesday morning as well. Outside of it, though, we are looking for a nice amount of rainfall throughout much of southern Wisconsin. A half to about 3/4 of an inch of rain is what we're expecting, especially areas just to the southwest between Platteville and for Mineral Points. We're looking for a good amount of rain, and some areas could be close to about an inch from this event. But that's just going to be one thing that we're watching for, because later in the week, we are going to be seeing another system starting to roll its way in that could be bringing us some snow chances going into our Thursday afternoon and night, and even leaking out once we get into our Friday morning. It's mainly going to be our late Wednesday nights into Thursday that we're watching for, but here's what we're going to be breaking it down to. For tonight through about Tuesday morning, we're looking for rain to be likely. Some areas could even see some thunderstorms to be possible, and we're looking at moderate rain to be throughout much of the events going into tomorrow. It's going to be breezy. We're not looking for accumulating snow for this event, though. For the next event, though, it will be Wednesday night into Thursday. Snow will be likely for us. We're going to be seeing the impacts mainly for Thursday morning commutes into our Thursday evening commutes as well. So it's one thing to be planning ahead for, and on top of it, we are going to be seeing that accumulating snow to be likely. Here's our 3 things we'll need to know. We have the showers developing overnight, and mild temperatures will stick around from Monday into Tuesdays. We're still going to be into the 40s. Then heading into the rest of tomorrow, we're also looking at potentials of those thunderstorms. But again, here at your First Warn Weather Team, we're going to be watching for the potentials of the impacts of snowfall coming in from our Wednesday night into our early Thursday morning and Thursday evening as well. Again, we're going to be looking for accumulating snow to be very likely from that snow event. So we'll be really watching for it over the couple of days to see exactly how much snow we're going to be getting. So make sure you're staying tuned with the First Warn Weather Team.
You know, today I was walking outside to my car and I was thinking, oh, it's so nice out. I'm going to be so bummed whenever it gets cold. But then I remembered because I was driving past a field and I saw the yellow grass.
Oh
and
my
I'm like,
gosh, it's disgusting.
Yes. Yeah. I'm kind of excited to see snow again on the ground. You know, even if it's not much, still, like, it always makes it a little pretty and makes winter a lot easier.
Yeah, because right now it just looks so unaesthetically pleasing.
It looks like Texas in the winter.
It is terrible. Oh my gosh, we need some snow now.
We do. All right, thanks, Julian. Still ahead, another round of Badger hoops at Assembly Hall. This time it's the women's team. Jordan has those highlights next in sports.
I'm a little old to count down the days, but my ski trip to Cascade Mountain with my cousin each year, so much fun. We used to pretend like we were flying. Now, we really do. My dad and my uncle like that we still ski free. But Noah and I, we just have fun. See you there.
Do you have an idea for an invention, but you don't know what to do next? Call InventHelp. They've been helping inventors for 35 years. InventHelp has helped over 10,000 inventors get patents. You can meet with an InventHelp representative who'll keep your idea confidential and explain their invention process step by step. And InventHelp's databank includes over 9,000 companies who have agreed to review new ideas. Take action and get the help you need from InventHelp.
800-550-5543.
Lake Ridge may be a new name, but it isn't a new bank. It's one built on over a century of community commitment. One equipped with all the knowledge and resources of 145 collective years of experience. Monona Bank and State Bank of Cross Plains are coming together as one. As Lake Ridge Bank, we're doing more together for you.
Wisconsin. It's easy to take for granted how we warm up. But what if you couldn't warm up so easily? For many, it's a reality they can't ignore. Working families, elderly, disabled, and veterans struggling to keep their heat and power on in the dangerous cold of winter. If you or someone you know needs a hand up, our energy, water, and emergency rental assistance providers are working together to keep you safe in your home. No one deserves to suffer when we can help each other.
Channel 3000 Plus. Watch from your streaming media player or mobile device.
The Badgers have finally found their groove. Back-to-back wins for the first time since the early part of the season. Of course, the last two coming against conference opponents. But Marissa Mosley's group is about to have its toughest test of the season so far. They're heading to Assembly Hall to face number 6 Indiana. UW having to play catch-up in the first quarter. Ronnie Porter dials one up from deep and cuts the deficit to single digits. Well, Brooke Shramick is going to follow her lead just seconds later off the glass for 2 of her team-high 13. But Indy flips the switch second second quarter behind some big shots by Mackenzie Holmes. She posts 29 points as the Hoosiers rout Wisconsin 93-56. The Badgers are back home Thursday to host 9th-ranked Maryland. Over to men's college hoops, Marquette on the road for a top 25 battle with Xavier. And this one is close throughout. Late second half, Xavier up by 3 where Tyler Kollick floats one up and in to make it a 1-point game. Final seconds, Golden Eagles still battling. Kollick's off the mark, but Olivier Maxon Spencer comes up with the offensive rebound and the bucket. But the Musketeers are able to defend home court, winning 80-76, snapping Marquette's 5-game win streak. Now, not a stat that Badger men's basketball would like to be a part of yesterday, but it ended up being a record day for college hoops. 11 ranked teams lost, tying an AP record for the first time in 12 years. And those 11 teams, and 9 of them were on the road. 18th ranked Badgers fell to Indiana, marking their 3rd straight loss. Now, a tough start to Badger Wrestling's conference schedule, 0-2 and heading to face 8th ranked Michigan. This duel is just wrapping up, and at last check, the Wolverines led 27-6. I'm going to have more on this duel tonight at 10. Wildcard weekend continues. The Bills hosting the Dolphins this afternoon. DeMar Hamlin watching his team from home. Now, the Bills get after it early. They find the end zone twice in the first quarter, but the Dolphins rally back. They're able to take the lead right out of the locker room after recovering a fumble for a tutty. Now, Josh Allen and company, they're just not going to have that. They got 2 more scores later in the game, and they're advancing 34-31 the final. And just next door at US Bank Stadium, the Vikings hosting the Giants for one of the NFC wildcard games. At last check, Big Blue up 24-21 over the Vikes.
All right, thanks, Jordan. Coming up, we have a final check of your first warn forecast.
There's a reason big dental bills often come as a shock, because sometimes you don't realize what's not covered until you get the bill. That's why affordable dental insurance from Physicians Mutual is important. It can give you benefits that go beyond what you get from more limited coverage plans. Because no one likes a big dental bill, especially if you're retired or on a fixed income. For a free information kit, call or go online now. This isn't some discount plan or preventive-only coverage. This is real dental insurance that helps cover over 350 procedures, like cleanings, fillings, crowns, bridges, root canals, even dentures, at any dentist you want. Dental insurance from Physicians Mutual Insurance Company helps cover preventive care, basic work, and major procedures, with no deductibles and no annual maximum. For your free information kit with all the details, call now or visit sendinfokit.com.
Physicians Mutual, Physicians Mutual.
Non-attorney spokesperson. This is a paid advertisement for legal services sponsored by Nightline Legal. Cases assigned on a random basis to participating law firms.
If you or a loved one were stationed at Marine Corps Base Camp Lejeune between 1953 and 1987 and were later diagnosed with cancer, Parkinson's disease, or other serious health effects, call right now. You may be entitled to financial compensation. Call right now to find out if you qualify.
Call 1-800-336-0524. 1-800-336-0524.
Migraine hits hard, so you hit back with Ubrelvy. You put it all on the line. One dose of Ubrelvy quickly stops migraine in its tracks within 2 hours.
Do not take with strong CYP3A4 inhibitors. Most common side effects were nausea and tiredness.
Ask about Ubrelvy, the anytime, anywhere migraine medicine.
At Denny's, we have the best value all day long, like the Everyday Value Slam for only $5.99. Now you can stack your wins and enjoy the sunny side of craveable value. $5.99 every day, part of the all-day Diner Deals value menu, only at Denny's.
Before we go, here's a look at some pretty lights. The biggest lantern fair in Northeast China is currently being held as part of Spring Festival celebrations. There are more than 70 sets of large light installations illuminating the night sky and attracting Chinese tourists. The event's been held for more than 10 years now. Okay, so earlier in the show, I said that the grass is yellow and gross and looks like Texas. My mom immediately texted me saying, don't bash Texas so much. And she went outside and took a picture. There is some green in our yard. I think the guys said they were going to zoom in on it. I don't know if you can see it. There you go.
There
is green. There's a little bit of green.
Small sliver.
Small sliver.
Just a little bit. So
just a little bit.
Sorry,
more
Texas.
Than us.
That is more than us.
More than us.
And it looks like that might be covered by snow pretty soon.
Yeah, it will be, but the first half of the week is going to be a rain show. We're going to be looking at rain throughout Monday, early Tuesday morning, and then the snow will come late Wednesday into our Thursday. So make sure you have pretty much all the gear that you need for the weather this week.
All right. Thanks, Joan, and thanks for joining us tonight. We'll see you back here with more news at 10.